A calm before a political storm. On the evening before the next phase of the impeachment trial of President Trump, Lisa Desjardins reports on how both sides of the fight are staking out their positions.
Take a moment for me, folks.
A quiet Capitol. Few TV cameras, mostly cell phones, were present to capture the House impeachment managers walking to survey the Senate chamber this morning. Meantime, movement from the White House as well. The president's legal team, led by White House counsel Pat Cipollone and the president's personal lawyer, Jay Sekulow, laid out its first official legal defense of the president. In a 110-page brief sent to the Senate today, attorneys rejected the House articles of impeachment as, quote, flimsy and the product of a brazenly political act by House Democrats. The brief has two key substantive defenses. First, it argues that President Trump did not condition security assistance or a president meeting on announcements of any investigations, as the articles of impeachment assert. Second, that President Trump did not commit obstruction by blocking testimony and documents, but rather was asserting his own legal rights and privileges. The brief doesn't deny the president tried to pressure Ukraine to open investigations into the 2016 election and former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Instead, the White House argues that pressure was legal and legitimate. The defense team was visible on Sunday talk shows where several, including former Harvard professor Alan Dershowitz, also argued that, wrong or not, the president's actions were not impeachable.
You have a lot of evidence, disputed evidence, can go both ways, but the vote was to impeach on abuse of power, which is not within the constitutional criteria for impeachment, and obstruction of Congress.
This came 2 days after House Democrats filed their own 111-page brief. Led by Intelligence Chairman Adam Schiff, the House team is pushing to get more documents and witnesses which have been blocked by the White House. Schiff told ABC News yesterday that the CIA and NSA specifically are withholding documents.
The intelligence community is reluctant to have an open hearing, something that we had done every year prior to the Trump administration, because they're worried about angering the president.
Meantime, Capitol Hill is beefing up security ahead of tomorrow's trial, set to start in the afternoon.
And Lisa joins me now. So, Lisa, just in the last few minutes, you've learned more about what to expect tomorrow from Leader McConnell's office.
An important document. Senator McConnell has just released his plans, his proposal for these trial rules. We looked over it. It's 4 pages long. We're going to take you through it in just a second. First, let's talk about tomorrow, because that's when they will debate those rules. Here's what will happen tomorrow when they convene in this trial at 1 o'clock Eastern time. All of tomorrow we expect just to be about process, the trial rules. Now, Democrats can propose amendments to Senator McConnell's ideas. Every time they do that, it will get 2 hours of debate for each amendment they propose. So it could be a long day, because I think Democrats will have many amendments they want to propose, at least a few. Then only the attorneys and managers can argue the case. Senators cannot deliberate out loud. Only the managers will be making the case about these resolutions. Now, let's talk about what Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is proposing, something we've been waiting for a good week, more than that. Here's what he wants to do. Basically, arguments, it looks like, will be about 1 o'clock each afternoon to 1 a.m. Essentially, he's giving each side 24 hours to present their arguments over 2 days. They can divide that how they will, but that will be about 12 hours for each day of arguments. What's that mean for everyone?
Wow.
Looks like House managers will be presenting their case Wednesday and Thursday of this week. The case to remove the president, the case defending the president would then likely be presented by President Trump's attorneys Friday and Saturday. Again, looking like those would be at least 12-hour days. That does not include breaks. During all of that time, I remind you, Judy, senators must sit in their seats and they cannot ask questions. They will be able to ask questions next week. They can write the questions down. It looks like they'll have a day or two of questions then.
But Lisa, these are very long days, so
yes.
1 a.m. potentially in
yes.
the morning, but it may not go that long. Is that right? We don't know.
It will be up to the managers if they want to use all of their time on the House side, and the same for the president's team. They can use up to 24 hours. They can use less if they choose to. So that's a decision they will have to make.
So now both sides have filed their so-called legal briefs. What are we seeing in terms of their arguments? We heard some of that in your report.
Well, you're going to see this argument over whether what the president did was impeachable at all. Also, Judy, watch for fights over the founding fathers. We're going to see them quoted often by both sides.
And finally, Security, you were telling us, it's just a different situation now at the Capitol.
This may be the one chance to really talk about this. It is, movements are highly restricted at the Capitol right now. And in fact, today I want to show a picture of something that went up in the press gallery, which all the reporters will have to go through. That's a magnetometer. You can see that really doesn't fit in the scenery there. Every reporter will have to go through that both when they're entering the chamber one by one, and it's going to make movements difficult. Reporters cannot have any devices in the chamber, just like senators. And then that brings us to the next photo. This is a cubby for senators to leave their cell phones at the door when they enter the chamber. Judy, reporters also, this is a restriction I've never seen before. We will not be able to really move around as senators can. It will be hard for us to communicate with some senators often, even when they take breaks. So our access is severely limited. We'll see how that changes over the week, but right now it's raising questions about what we can learn about their process, because we won't hear from them and we'll have trouble accessing them.
For sure. And we will be following whatever you can learn in the coming days. Lisa, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And we ask that you all please join us tomorrow, Tuesday, for our special live coverage of the impeachment trial of President Trump. It is starting at 12:30 p.m. Eastern here on your PBS station and online on our website, on YouTube, and on social media pages.